Hello guys, and today we will take a look at GROM, which is tier 8 premium Polish tank destroyer that you can get in the marathon. I think that it is one of the best credit makers in the entire game. So if you want to make credits and you like this playstyle, I definitely recommend to get this tank. And now let's get going into the battle. And now you may ask me, why do I think that this random tank destroyer, which just got added to the game, is one of the best credit makers. So first of all, it's a damage dealer, and the tanks that do the most damage and just do damage most of the time will earn the most amounts of credits. So thanks to the shells that you can do 800 damage per shell if you fight up close, you definitely don't need to shoot that much while doing huge amounts of damage. And the more important thing that I think that improves the credit making of this tank is the shells. As you can see, we have 800 damage and 272 millimeters of penetration on standard shells. And with that, we don't really need to use the gold shells, and thanks to that we just can earn so much credits. As you can see, the first shell went in. Of course, the enemy light tank did make a stupid mistake. And now we see 53 TP, also another shell, 10 seconds, 900 damage almost. And now with those two shells we have 1,500 damage already. And that is why this tank is very powerful. In short amounts of time you can just earn so much credits. Now I will try to hit this 53 TP, but unfortunately I didn't make the shot. But still, the shells aren't that expensive, and also you don't need to use gold. You just, even if you are a good player and you care about the statistics, you just don't need the gold shells. Only 20 millimeters more of penetration don't give you much of anything. And also another thing is, of course, you fight up close, so you don't snipe, you don't miss as much. With this tank, of course, this middle plate and the lower plate are quite badly armored, but the upper plate is definitely able to withstand even 260 millimeters of penetration. So if you play it correctly, for example, if you hide behind such little hills, definitely the enemies won't be able to pen you. And now, as you can see, I'm waiting for the guard or the XOR to do some kind of mistake, and I will try to punish them for it. And in this meta of World of Tanks, where there can be battles that just are super fast and they are 3-4-5 minutes, the Polish tank destroyers just are very good at it. Thanks to the DPM, even though you may be in a battle for 1 minute, you can just do so much damage. As you can see, 2 shots and another tier 8 tank is dead. Now I'm trying to dodge the double shot of the TS-54, and I managed to dodge one shell. As you can see, the T-28 bounced. Now we shot him for another 800 damage in the cupola. With those penetration you just cannot not pen. 4,500 damage already. And I will try now to pick the Emil, but unfortunately I didn't aim in time, and I didn't want to shoot while I wasn't fully aimed. And another bounce from the T-28. And in two shots I was able to kill the tier 8 technically heavy armored tank destroyer. And as you can see, I managed to bounce another shell from the ISU. So the upper plate armor is definitely one of the is able to bounce many shells, even with high penetration sometimes. Now, even though the battle was short, 4 minutes, and we are winning clearly already, I have 6,000 damage, 2,000 bounce, almost 1000 assistance, and even though this tank has only 1300 HP, if you will play it correctly and just try to hide the lower and middle plate, you will be able to bounce practically anything at tier 8. Now we are going for the RT, 6500, almost 6 kills, and that's the power of this tank. We only shot 11 shells and we managed to do so much damage, 6500 with 11 shells, and that is why this tank is very powerful. Of course, if you don't like to play the tank destroyers that have to be up close, I don't recommend it, but other way, I think this tank is very powerful at making credits. And now the score: ace tanker, 6 kills, so top guns, even 7 kills, so definitely a top gun, high caliber, and as you can see we did definitely quite a lot of damage, 260,000 credits earned. Of course I had a premium account and the reserves, but I unfortunately didn't do a screenshot of the credits that I earned with the repairs, but thanks to that you don't need to use gold and only I shot 11 shells, I was able to make 220,000 credits profit. And now on the team base, as you can see, definitely I'm first by the base XP, almost 2000. Not much enemies could do to me, and yeah, that's definitely a power of this tank. As you can see, the shells, the standard shells cost, even though they cost quite a lot for a tier 8 tank, you deal at 800 damage, so 1400 cost per shell isn't that big, and you don't need to use those gold shells that costs 5200 because you get only 20 meters of penetration. Sometimes you will use the HE shells, they are also not that expensive, and yeah, thanks to that damage of yours that you do up close, you definitely can earn quite a lot of credits with this tank. I had few battles already when I made over 200,000 credits. The setup that I'm using is, as you can see, the gun rammer. I have bounty and also bounty ventilation, but if you don't have it, definitely standard will do just fine. And I have also an mobility improvement system, so the experimental turbocharger. If you don't have the experimental turbocharger on the 3rd tier, I would recommend it on the 2nd, but if you don't have it on the 2nd even, I think that bounty turbocharger or just standard turbocharger will do its job just fine. And if the map is close, so it's not big like, for example, mines, you can take HP, not the turbocharger. And now the crew. On the commander I have coordination, brothers in arms, repairs, practicality and emergency. On the radio operator, as you can see, firefighting, side by side and the perk with more view range. The gunner has armorer, brothers in arms, repairs and concealment. Driver has clutch braking, which will be important in tank destroyers without turret. Brothers in arms, repairs and smooth ride, also important. And the most important guy, which is loader, brothers in arms, ammo tuning, definitely intuition and repairs. Now the last thing, of course, is shells. 25 standard, as I said, definitely very good to have that powerful standard rounds. Gold shells, only 6, you don't need them just. And 9 HE shells, you can take more, but I don't think it will be that useful. For sniping only, I would say. Up close you don't need them, and for sniping, if it's 500 meters or the targets are lightly armored, definitely use HEs. And now it's all for today's video. Thank you for watching and see you next time.